Hello traders. Wow, what a week. I just wanted to do a quick summary of the week and kind of just go back over real quick what we accomplished, and this week has been really fun. And I have to say, when we look at the big picture, let's go back to my big picture here. If it'll load now that it's after hours. It's about 2.5 hours after the market closed. Monthly, 3, 4, 5, weekly, came up here. I was gonna say this this last wave, if this is here was a correction here in ABC, and then you just got a climbing, hard to tell what, obviously, on the weekly, and that's why you can't obsess with Elliott waves. Sometimes it's just not clear, and on a strong trend it just goes. So it's interesting on the daily that it just kept climbing and climbing since the bottom there, 1st of February, when it corrected and then started up. Not a real committal on the market. It wound up going, 66, 68 points above the high of end of January. And then what we're working on here, what seems clear to me at this point, and I'll trade it like this until I see different, is an ABC correction. Correction was done down here. Total correction 350 points over 25 trading days. And then we're doing wave 1. ABC is the wave 2, and then heading up to wave 3. So that's where we're at. That's what we've been trading on. Actually, if you go back to the pre-market video, the first one I did, and then the second one, I actually entered a trade right here on Sunday early, an hour or two into the market, and we pretty much traded in and out all the way up through here. The interesting thing about saying I traded in and out, here's the actual summary of what we accomplished. Let me get this. Here's a summary for the week. Number of trades was 10 I took, and I've got them all covered on the video so you guys can take a look. 7 wins, 3 losses. So on the left hand column there's how many points I got in each trade. The wins, the 7 wins and the 3 losses, which added up to 124 plus trades, 124 points, and then minus 17 points on the losses, which kept my losses to a minimum. So I'm pretty happy with that. I've learned more. I do every week when I trade. I'm getting a little sharper, and that's the goal. Average win 17.7 points, average loss 5.67. So that's 3 to 1 on the win to loss, which is really good. So the net points for the week, 107. Jeez, that's a great week. You can thank about 30 of those to the chairman, his speech on Wednesday, shooting the market up. But we were in the market in the right direction when he began speaking. So his speech did nothing but just accelerate where we were already at. So net points 107, which is cool. And all 10 of those trades, if you look at the link on the bottom of the description, my Collective 2 link, you will, the page you come up with is this right here, which is Collective 2. You'll come up and you'll see my strategy is called Turning Point ID. Every one of my trades is tracked. The numbers are tracked. It's ridiculous, all the numbers that Collective 2 keeps on your account. Here's my equity since I started trading 3 months ago. Finished a month with 60.5% increase. So I was getting my feet wet here. Did 44% in September, was down 5.7% in October, and now we're up 60% from October to November. That's month to month. And my year to date, so for the 3 months I've been trading on C2, we're up 117.9%. You can take a look at all those numbers and read through them all you want. What I wanted to show you was down here, you can look at the trading record. And these last 10, starting right here, are those 10 that I just told you about. And they've got them all, the entries, exits, times, everything. And I don't know if any of you remember, but the pre-market, my very first video that I did, my pre-market one, I pointed to the last Friday, and that's, let me get this out of here. Yep. Last Friday, which was the this mess in here, and I pointed out on that video that I traded a bunch of dumb trades right in here because I was so concentrated in here on the turns that I didn't go back and look at the big picture and realize that this was the complex counter trend, and I just needed to let the market play it out. So anyway, I tell you the good with the bad and my mistakes with my successes, and that's what those were right there. It was last Friday. So here's my 10 trades since then. I'm really happy with that. You can go on Collective 2 and take a look at that. Take a look at all the other information that's on there, all the other traders that put their strategies on there. It's got a lot of good information. So there's that. As far as next week, I'm just looking forward to catching every end of correction I can catch on the 15-minute to the 1-hour time frame. Here's the 1 hour. Since it's starting a new trend, it's going to be, you know, late Sunday, maybe Monday before we get a good. We have to get a wave 1 up here, or a complete trend. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then get a correction. But once we start seeing a good correction on the hourly, it's just going to be a lot of fun because we've got a long ways to go here, guys. If this was the ABC, this is 1, this is 2. Remember, we just did a wave 1, 2. Now we're going up to wave 3, which is the biggest wave of the set. So if wave 1 went 128 points, we'll go at least that. Probably 140, 150 maybe. Just guessing here, but that's a little bit longer, or it could be a lot longer. So what I'm thinking on this long-term chart also is I know I'm very confident we're heading back up to the top again. Okay, but once we get back up to the top, the thing that might be kind of, oh, I'm sorry, I've got this, I got to go to my other chart to get the long-term. What I'm thinking here is let me get rid of all this stuff, my contract expiry. Let me just get rid of all these. And let's take a look at this monthly. Okay. Clear this up a little bit on the monthly. If this is a full trend, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then we know that the monthly topped out and it corrected. Now, is this actually the end of the trend on the monthly? And if it is, then you would expect somewhere before this top again for this to do a B. That would be the A, it would be a B, and then a C before it continues up. So if you think about that, how long did this ABC right here take back starting in June of 2015? Remember, we're on the monthly chart. This whole correction from June 2015 went through to 215.5. Oh, let me get this better. January 2016. So June. Started down in June, went to January. 6-7 months for that correction to play itself out on a monthly before it took off again. So we're the second month into this correction. What it's going to do, whether the market is so strong that that's the only correction we're going to see, we don't know. Because see, sometimes you do. Sometimes you do just get a single down and then it starts pushing up. Got a real ABC there back in those 6 months period of time. Then you're coming up here. So I'm not sure. The weekly chart definitely is showing ABC that you can't see till we look at the daily. But the fact that that low is higher than that low means, at least on the weekly chart, we've got the turn. Daily chart, we've got the turn. So on the monthly chart, is it still turning? ABC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could very possibly in the next couple of months go just above that high and then turn, and then we might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 a little bit higher. That would be the actual end of the monthly trend, possibly. In other words, we got a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not unusual. You can't, you don't get obsessed with the number of waves in a trend with Elliott Wave. You just got to see what the market's doing. Interesting thing, and like I say, I haven't mentioned my multiple CCI much because I don't rely on it much. I'm not a big indicator fan. This one, what it does show you from time to time, though, is when you get to the top of a trend on the right time frame, the lines will bunch together. They will cross back under the 90, and that's a pretty good sign of reversal. This is hard to say what that one's doing. I wouldn't rely on that one way or the other, but the fact that it's bundled that they're all bundled together here and heading down could be a precursor to it actually going down more. Okay, but as I was saying, we don't have to know what it's doing there because we're working on this time frame. And this time frame is telling us ABC 1, 2, heading up to 3. So that's what we're going to be trading this next week. Looking forward to it. And I think that's all I got to say. Appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. Check out the Collective 2 website. You have any comments, constructive criticism, that's fine. Go ahead and comment. That'd be great. And I will talk to you guys. We'll do some recording next week, depending on how many trades we get. Take care. Have a good weekend.